Ladies and gents, welcome to CG Rex, and this is Miscellaneous Miss Bellerophon for the channel Sarcastic production. Yep, for past 2 days I think I've been doing Dracula, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that kind of thing, the horror type of things. That was really fun, but I'm like, you know what, for today let's go back to basics again. So Greek mythology. Yeah, because one thing's for damn sure, you can always find a Greek mythology video. There's so many of them. So yeah. Boy, Greek heroes are just raining from the sky these days. That's what I just said. And we haven't even talked about Phaeton yet. Phaeton? Oh, so Volkswagen Phaeton is named after a Greek demigod or something, huh? The only Greek hero to date who literally crashed and burned. What? Volkswagen named their car, a premium car, Phaeton, after a hero who got burned. Crashed and burned. Does Volkswagen know this? Damn. All in good time, of course. Anyway, this week we take a look at ill-fated Bellerophon. Of course, he's ill-fated. Because let's face it, who in this mythology besides Perseus was anything but ill-fated? Yeah, that's true, isn't it? I mean, most Greek heroes are, always have bad ending to them, basically. I guess most of them, thanks to Zeus in some part, if nothing else will kill you, I guess Zeus will kill you. But yeah, there you go. TLDR, he got a nifty horse and died. Yeah, at least he got a nifty horse. This is by the channel Sarcastic production. I've directed quite a few videos from this channel already. If you haven't seen them, check out the cars. There's a playlist I created for it. OSP reaction, something like that. I'll upload also videos in 24 hours. You might have missed some of them. Check that out. Check out the playlist too, like history, all the history videos from all the history channels that are react to is in that playlist, so check that out. CGP Grey, Tier Zoo, Internet Historian. Yeah, and let's watch this one.
You know, for all the popularity of anti-heroes, modern literature is remarkably black and white. Characters are either good or bad, and even if it looks like they're somewhere in the middle, you know they'll end up doing something that tips the scales one way or the other. And then there are the flawed characters, those moral paragons with one or two character quirks cracking their pedestals ever so slightly. But those flaws rarely serve to actually hurt them in any way, assuming they're even real flaws at all. Yeah, here's a hint. If the worst thing you can say about your hero is that he just likes his friends too much, that's not a character flaw. So today we'll be looking at a hero whose flaw...
Yeah, I guess that is true, isn't it? When you see any stories, it's usually good or bad. Nobody's in the middle ever. I guess the Witcher lore, the Witcher world, and how the Witcher are, I guess, came close to being in the middle. Witchers are supposed to be good, but they are, I think, they're in the middle somewhat because they also do questionable things. There are lots of questionable things that happen in the universe by apparently good people. So I don't know. I feel like Witcher world was kind of dark in that way. Like, it was kind of realistic because it was somewhat cynical type of thing too. Lots of dark thing happened there. So I don't know.
Actually was his downfall, a heroic lad by the name of Bellerophon, or Bellerophontes, depending on who you ask. So Bellerophon has the distinction of being Poseidon's son, and as a consequence is a stellar equestrian. Yeah, I'm afraid outside the world of young adult fiction, being a demigod only earns you the lamest of your deific parents' abilities, but his most prominent...
Okay. I think there was, what was the Helen of Troy thing that I was talking about in one of the videos, like how she's daughter of Zeus, and I'm like, how does she doesn't have any power? How is she so helpless, and how she was portrayed? And somebody just said that just being, son or daughter of one of the Olympians doesn't mean you have some awesome powers or something. I guess he confirms that here. So basically this guy Bellerophon is just an awesome horse rider apparently.
Feature is his ability to constantly get himself exiled by pissing off the resident king. First, he gets himself exiled by killing someone, either his own brother or some rando, the story is unclear, and he hikes over to King Proteus to be cleansed of the crime. But while he's there, Proteus' wife tries to seduce him.
So okay, I guess the story starts a bit dark. Is he supposed to be a good guy? Is he a protagonist? What's the morality here? Oh, I guess he accidentally killed somebody. So I guess there's not much detail there. He just killed somebody. There you go. I guess Heracles killed his own family with kids, I guess. So I guess in Greek mythology, one thing I'll learn, it's not best to question the morality of the protagonist or whatever. It's usually the story. Just go with the story. This is how the story plays out. There you go.
him, and when he's like nah, she instead accuses him of trying to seduce her, which prompts King Proteus to kick him out. Proteus sends Bellerophon to his father-in-law, King Iobates, with a message telling the king to kill Bellerophon. Iobates takes in Bellerophon as a guest, then opens the letter and learns he's supposed to kill him instead. But unfortunately, it's against the rules of hospitality to murder your house guests, so Iobates kicks out Bellerophon and tells him to go slay the chimera that's been terrorizing his kingdom in the hopes that maybe the monster will solve his little conflict of interests. So after that needlessly complicated setup, we finally have our conflict.
So let me get this straight. She tried to seduce him. He said like, nah. So she just falsely accuses him because obviously that happens a lot. Not in just past, even the real world. But still, then he's like, you know what? I'm going to send this to my brother or whatever because I guess this is his problem now and just send the Lord, like kill him. I guess he didn't see it like if I send him there, he's a guest there. And I tell him to kill him. Now that's going to be an issue obviously at that time, at that world. You can't just kill your, guest or whatever. So didn't he see that, this is a problem for my brother or whatever? So now he has to send him on this different challenge. Kill Chimera, apparently. A legendary creature.
Bellerophon versus the Chimera. Now, in case you're unfamiliar, the Chimera is a fire-breathing fusion of several animals. A goat forms the body, a snake makes the tail,
and I'll form the head!
No, but seriously, she has a lion head. Dang, that reference was serendipitous. Anyway, on his way to probably die, Bellerophon bumps into a seer, Polyidus, who, continuing the trend of characters only serving to redirect the plot without actually contributing, points Bellerophon in the direction of the Temple of Athena, where he instructs the lad to go take a nap. So Bellerophon does, and while he sleeps, Athena drops a golden bridle next to him and tells him where to find the Pegasus. Now, most of you probably know what the Pegasus is, but his origins are a little wackier than you might think. Yep, even wackier than that.
By now I'm sure that Athena always helps out the Greek heroes. Always. Because there's countless Greek hero stories where Athena is always there to help around.
See, Pegasus was born from the Medusa's severed head. When our buddy Perseus cut it off, Pegasus sprang fully formed from her neck stump along with his brother Chrysaor. Now, you've probably never heard of Chrysaor, which is mostly because we barely know anything about him. His name means he who has a golden sword, and he's sometimes shown as a giant, but he's also been represented as a giant winged boar. He hardly features in any known stories, and people have cobbled together characters with his name from his grab bag of traits. Sometimes he's a winged dude with golden armor, sometimes he's a tusk monster. I don't know, man. Someone get this kid a solid characterization stat. No, not you, Saint Seiya. You had your chance. That hairstyle is unforgivable. But anyway, Pegasus, fancy winged horse, you know the drill. Bellerophon drops the bridle on him, makes an appropriate sacrifice to Poseidon, and boom, instant besties. So Bellerophon hops onto Pegasus and they fly off to the Chimera's lair. But unfortunately, the Chimera is really stupid strong and Bellerophon can't put a scratch on it. But all the fire breathing gives him an idea. He finds a large block of lead, presumably somewhere in hammer space, and sticks it to the end of his spear. Then he jams that sucker down the Chimera's throat, and when she breathes fire, it melts the lead, suffocating her. Yay? So Bellerophon scoots on back to King Iobates, who immediately sends him off to do more perilous questing in the hopes that maybe—
That's it? He killed Chimera? Goddamn. Chimera is this, Chimera is a big thing, right? In the Greek mythology, Chimera is this big, gigantic, legendary creature. So Bellerophon just killed it. I've never heard of the name Bellerophon. So apparently Bellerophon killed Chimera. And this king is like, oh, look at that. He killed Chimera. I guess I should still try to kill him by sending him to do things. Because he just killed a Chimera. He's not a badass.
maybe this time it'll stick. But Bellerophon cheerfully prevails over his next two challenges, defeating both the Salimi tribe and the Amazons. Iobates decides to stop screwing around and orders his guards to kill Bellerophon, but after a confusing incident involving some divine intervention—
Yeah, that makes sense. He did all that shit. So I guess my gods can kill him. It's not like, he's gonna kill the gods and gonna get pissed and kill me. I guess this is smart.
Poseidon and a whole bunch of naked women, Iobates finally gives up on trying to kill Bellerophon, reasoning that anyone that lucky has to have at least one god on his side. Iobates gives Bellerophon half his kingdom and his daughter's hand in marriage, very classic, and all seems well. But remember how I said Bellerophon has a flaw? Besides ending up with the lamest superpower ever, Bellerophon has an unfortunate tendency towards hubris, and all his victories only serve to fuel that particular fire. Eventually, Bellerophon starts wondering why he doesn't get to live on Olympus, given that he's so great and everything. Then he remembers that he has a flying horse, puts two and two together, and hops on Pegasus with destination Mount Olympus. Unfortunately, this pisses off Zeus, because apparently only he gets to indiscriminately invade other people's homes, and he sends down a gadfly, which stings Pegasus and causes the horse to throw Bellerophon off its back. Our hero plummets to earth, felled by his own hubris, or more accurately, by Zeus's hubris getting territorial, and thus ends the tale of the hero Bellerophon. He died.
Alright, at the start of the video I was just making a joke. The Zeus is probably gonna kill him or whatever, because Zeus usually says that. But look at that shit. Zeus is the one who kills him. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised at this point. I don't get it how the, movies and things that takes, Zeus always shows him as this wise and the god of the Olympus or whatever. He's really not. Seriously, after reacting to these OSP videos, anytime there is a Greek mythology type of movie or TV show where Zeus is shown this wise, god-like creature, I won't be able to watch that show or movie, whatever.
Died as he lived, getting sent places by other people with no real agency of his own.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'd say Bellerophon isn't always present as having died from his fall. What? Sometimes he lives as a blind, crippled madman. Yay! Yeah. If you are in Chicago, hit up the Pegasus restaurant in Greek town. There, Evgol Mono. I don't know. The soup is really good. Okay. Our apologies for using this so 2 weeks in a row, but really it's the fault of the Greeks for doing the same object lesson twice. Yep, there you go. Bellerophon, a Greek hero who has a tragic end at the hands of Zeus, obviously. I mean, you can't really blame him for his, I guess, ego and whatever, hubris. I mean, he killed Chimera and just, got lucky after lucky. Athena gave her something so he could ride Pegasus. I mean, if all that shit happens to you, you would be hubristic too. You would have massive ego too. I mean, you can't really blame the guy, but yeah, there you go. Alright people, that was Miscellaneous Myths, Bellerophon. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the lyrics and there's a link in the description. Check out the cast with different playlists, check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.